So, hello and namaste to all of you. This is Name-Shalu Singh from Department of Physiotherapy and Diagnostics from Jayoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. For today's topic, we'll be discussing about factors that are affecting your osmosis. So, first of all, what is osmosis? So, in last sections also, I've told you about the introduction of osmosis and various mechanisms that affect movement of solute and solvent molecules within the osmotic solution. So osmosis is basically a biophysical process occurring commonly in your biological system. So where solvent molecules, they move across semi-permeable membrane towards a region of high solute concentration. So during this osmosis, it is basically a passive type of transport, and it is directed towards a direction that tends to equalize both solute concentration, solute and solvent concentration across this semi-permeable membrane. So it is a common process, and it is taking in most of your biological membranes or within your cells also. So for the mechanism behind this is that the movement that is taking place within osmosis is from your region of higher concentration to the region of your lower concentration. So when there is movement of water across the membrane, it will result due to concentration gradient of water within these two solutions. So and if there is an application of some pressure, then one more process will take place, which is called as reverse osmosis, in which case the concentration gradient, it will occur against the concentration gradient with the movement of solvent towards the solution of lower concentration. Now, what are the mechanisms, basically the factors that are affecting osmosis? So, osmosis is basically resulting from various factors, and thus the rate of osmosis is influenced by a number of such factors. So, first of all, there is temperature. So, the rate of osmosis increases with the increase in temperature of the system. And this occurs because with increase in temperature, the energy of molecules also increases. So as molecules become more energetic, their movement also increases, and thus the process of osmosis is escalated. So what is basically happening is, like when the temperature is increased, the vibrational or the kinetic energy of your molecules is increasing. Since the molecules are coming into a kinetic form and the kinetic energy is increasing, so they'll start moving even faster, right? So with they'll have a faster movement, and they will start moving towards the other side, and that is from your low concentration to your from your high concentration to your low concentration. Now the other factor that affects osmosis is your concentration gradient. So as the concentration of solute molecules, it is essential in driving force of osmosis. So any change in concentration, it will directly affect the rate of osmosis. Osmosis, it shoots up in a condition where the difference in concentration of solute across the membrane is higher. So the it basically says that your movement, the movement from with respect to concentration gradient depends upon the region of higher concentration and the region of the lower concentration. So the movement will be taking place from highly concentrated solution to your low concentrated solution. So as the number of solute molecules is more in one solution than the other, so the pressure exerted by the solvent molecules will decrease. So it will accelerate your process of osmosis. So once equilibrium is maintained across the membrane, the process of osmosis will increase. So it is very important point that in each and every case, the whole motto of during osmosis is to reach to your equilibrium point. So as soon as equilibrium or stability is attained, there will be there will the osmosis, the whole process will stop. Now the third point that will third factor that will be affecting your osmosis is your water potential or your solvent potential. So the water potential across a semi-permeable membrane, it will also influence the rate of your osmosis. So means the if solvent content is more, so the concentration will be less. If solvent content is more as compared to solute, the concentration will be less. So as water potential of solution is more, so the water molecules, they can move across the membrane, and as the pressure exerted by particles is increased, so eventually water potential on either side, it will become equal and it will create equilibrium. And once equilibrium is reached, water will continue to flow across the membrane, but it flows both the ways in equal amounts, and thus it will stabilize your solution. Now, the next factor that will affect your osmosis is your surface area and thickness of the membrane. So with increase in surface area, more space will be available to the molecules for their movement, which in turn will increase the rate of osmosis. And similarly, if surface area is reduced, so less space will be there for molecules to move, and it will restrict their movement, and the rate of osmosis will also be reduced as the thickness of membrane will increase. Okay, so it is obvious that if there is a thin layer, the movement will be easier, but if there are several layers to cross, it will first of all take time, and it will take more efforts and more energy. So the process will get slower, and so, or I can say that rate will get slower. Now, the next factor that affects osmosis is your pressure. Now, pressure is very essential factor for influencing the process of osmosis, as it might even change the direction of osmosis. Okay, so if you apply the pressure towards the membrane through where there is low concentration of solutes, so if you apply pressure there, the movement can go from your low concentration to your high concentration, or movement might stop. So if pressure is applied in excess to the pressure applied by solvent molecules, the direction of osmosis might change. So the solvent molecules will begin to move towards the region with more solvent concentration, and if pressure is less than that of exerted by the solvent molecules is applied, it doesn't change the direction but does reduce the rate of osmosis. So now the pressure applied in same direction to the concentration gradient also increases your rate of osmosis. So these were the various factors that affect your osmosis, your temperature, your concentration gradient, your water potential or your solvent potential, surface area, thickness of the membrane, pressure. So these all are the factors that determine the rate and your direction of osmosis. So in every all the factors have to be kept in mind while you are performing some practical which concerns osmosis. So in every case, if you want osmosis to take place, so where the in practical life where basically osmosis is taking place is in your cells. So in case of higher temperature also, if there is too much of heat or too much of in your summer situations basically, so osmosis within your cells is less. And in case of your winters, so osmosis is less. And matlab in summers basically the skin gets drier and waters it moves out of your cell, so skin becomes dry and you feel more thirsty, and your body lacks water. So that is the case. And while in winters, if you even have less water, you won't feel that much of problem. So in that way, in practical life, you can observe uh, the change in temperature, how it affects your osmosis. So, and moreover, in case of concentration, if I say, so people who have more and more water, so they can have during in those people concentration a high, there is less concentration. So it is solutions within their body are less concentrated because of the higher amount of water. So there is a different osmosis. So these were all the mechanisms. Now, in next class, we'll study further about examples and your about osmotic pressure and all. So, which are osmotic pressure, which is very important, and about different types of hypertonic, hypotonic, and isotonic solutions. So, let's meet in next class. Until then, if you have any doubts related to this topic or any other further topic, you can consult me. And until then, take care. Bye bye.